lovelies. It's Tuesday's tip. Come on in. Let's get busy. Who's in the house? No, I don't need you. Somehow or another, I just got over to who's listening and decided to interject herself into this. Hi, Juanita. Good to see you. And there's my girl Doris. Hello, hello. And Andrea's in the house. And Sarah is as well. Hello, Sarah. Hi, Marianne. Hello, Helen. And there's Jennifer. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Heather. And there is our girl Jenny. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, V. And look, there's Catherine. Aren't the cover photos pretty? Jenny just updated them all. Hi, Anita, Susan, good to see you. Lizzie's here. And so's Tammy. I haven't seen you in a while, Tammy. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Norma. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad everything got fixed with your electricity. Hi, Nancy and Simone. Good to see you. Ooh. I'm glad you came to our crazy, detracted whatever last night. We'll talk about that hot mess in just a minute. Hi, Terry. Good to see you. Well, it's good to see everyone, and thank you so much for showing up. Take a look at what's behind me, ladies. Do you see what I see? Yes, indeed. My Peloton is here. I've got the seat adjusted, the gel topic, the gel seat on there. Wow. Yeah. It is a good one, isn't it, Carol? We have a good one. It is. We're going to be talking about, when things go wrong, don't go with them. That's an Elvis quote, by the way. Can you believe it? An Elvis quote. I'm using an Elvis quote on this whole thing. But it's such a good thing because, we have a tendency to fall down that rabbit hole, don't we? I do. Everybody does. I think we can be in agreement about all of that. So welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday, and Tuesday means it's Tuesday's tip. And I've got a good one for you. This is something that I've been contemplating for a while, and I really believe that, we have a tendency, don't we, all of us, to just feel like, well, if something bad happens or if some one little thing happens, then off we go to the races. Let's not do that. I don't want us to do that. So we'll talk about this. Today is, today is Tuesday, Tuesday's tip, and it's our last day also for the supplement of the week. It is our Crave Crusher. I love this stuff. This is my go-to bomb.com. It keeps your cravings under control all day. Yeah, you take 4 of these suckers, but it's for good reason and all during the day. If you put 3 in your cart, we'll put the 4th one in for you free. And if you put ships free, we'll send it to you free. Jenny's saying, I love Elvis. We all love Elvis. Who else ate peanut butter and banana and bologna sandwiches? I don't know. He had all kinds of weird stuff. I promise you there will not be an Elvis menu coming out of savingdinner.com, okay? Promise. Hand to God. He wasn't exactly the healthiest individual in the world. God rest his soul. I was actually in Hawaii when he died. And man, I want to just tell you, Hawaii, they worshipped Elvis over there. You would have thought that there was, it was a big deal. Also, the sprint is starting next week. Now, speaking of clusters, speaking of hot messes, let's just talk about last night, shall we? There we were on Crowdcast, and I was just going a mile a minute, showing everybody how to do this hot melt sprint in a way that makes it so it's truly understandable and that you can take full ownership of it and do it the way you want to. Well, turns out y'all were watching a black screen and not hearing a word I was saying, and I was an audience of 1. Anyway, we got those things fixed. We had an internet issue. They were throttling our internet. That's what they do. And we had to get a new SIM card and what have you. We operate off our cell towers. We're way up here on top of a ridge here in Brevard, North Carolina. And that's how it is for us. We probably pay 2 times to 3 times the amount of money you guys pay on your internet. But for us, this is everything. You know, this is our connection. We work from home. Everything happens because of the internet. So anyway, we did get it fixed. Thank heavens. But if you want to see the presentation from last night, and I strongly recommend that you do, and I will hold the deal open. We had a deal in there. We have the deal open, and I will honor the prices that we have in there. And also, if you order today, you still have, and even tomorrow, you still have a chance to get it on time. We will send your order priority, okay? So that's how we roll here. I want to get everybody on board as much as I can. And yes, you can do it without supplements. The supplements merely add to the fire, okay? We put a kit together for you, several kits actually. And it's, you know, you can order what you want. They're 10% off plus free shipping. You just have to go to savingdinner.com/burn. And you can watch the thing that, oh no, you can't watch it from last night. It's here on Facebook. But you can also, yes, you can get the, you can still get the deal. Go to savingdinner.com/kits, and they're all right there. You can see what's there. Minnie's asking, is that a Peloton bike? Yes, ma'am, that's my Peloton. And I bought this. You know, it's funny because this is part of what I'm talking about today is, and our quote of the week, oops, I think all goes hand in hand. No masterpiece was ever created by a lazy artist. This is Elijah Winfrey, who is a golfer, come philanthropist, and he's raising money and awareness for autism. He's a really interesting guy, and my hat is off to him because even though the word lazy I just do not like, I hear what he's trying to say, and to me that moved me. That's why this is here, and it was about investing in yourself. When I looked at all different ways to do something that wasn't, quite the way I wanted to do it. And I decided to go all in on this investment with myself. I do this whenever I'm on the brink of a new knowing, on the brink of a new discovery about myself, a new discovery about, what's really important in my life. It's when I go all in. It's when I say, you know what, here we go, let's do this. And I did this. So you guys know the story about, how our supplements nearly shut us all down. But we ended up going anyway. We pushed the limit. We went all in and risked a lot. And it paid off. It brought us back into the living, and it brought me into this place of understanding just how important investing in yourself is. And that's when I bought that Peloton. And I'm telling you what, I haven't gotten on it yet. We just got it this morning, but I'm studying on it, and I will be on that bike today doing my first ride. So I'm all in. I'm all in. Are you? I hope so. And speaking of that, be all in for next week's sprint. Next week's sprint is it. We do this on purpose. And again, if you want to watch the recording, it's right here on this Facebook page in the videos, okay? So that you can watch it and you can see it. I want you to watch it and see it because there's a reason for every single part and parcel of this sprint. It's all research backed, and I've done this so that you can be confident knowing that you're doing something that's for yourself. And again, it's an investment. It's a free investment, by the way, but it's an investment nonetheless because you take the time for yourself for this 7-day week. And I'll tell you too, the other thing that I have seen, and with not just me, but with everybody who's been in my community, there is a leveling up that comes from discovery of yourself, what you're made out of, and how you can execute on this. It's everything. And again, you can watch the Burn, we're calling it the Burn webinar. You can watch the Burn webinar here. It was last night. We also then did another, I closed out of that. I showed my slide presentation. I then closed out of that and did a live Q&A, which there weren't a whole lot of questions. It was just a little different. But anyway, we also have Cooking Camp. I wanted to tell you about that. Cooking Camp is a program I did about 5 years ago, and we have resurrected it right back up because there are a lot of people out there, especially in the 6 months of pandemic stuff that we've been doing, who really need this information and need to know how to cook without all the fluff and all the crazy making. And also I've seen, you know, programs online, they're just so expensive. Well, we've made this very inexpensive. We've cut out the fluff, gotten right into the heart of the matter. You want to get dinner on the table, and you want to do it in a way that's delicious and healthy, and you want to feed your family, and you want to save a buck or two, because it's expensive buying this pre-made stuff or buying these kits that they send to your front door plus wasteful. My goodness, the carbon footprint's ridiculous. Or, you know, you're tired of takeout. We can do better than that. So check out savingdinner.com/camp, and you'll see the whole outline of what's there. I'm really happy and very proud to reintroduce this to my audience. If you need to know how to cook, this is going to help you out big time. As a matter of fact, I got a little note from Jane. If she's here, hi Jane, who said that mise en place changed everything for her. And she said, you know, as a 71-year-old woman, if that happens for me, well, there you go. So you can check that out. Also, we've got, Marla and I are doing the holiday workshop on October 10th. You can find out all about that by going to savingdinner.com/cruise. There's plenty of time for you to get signed up, but don't neglect getting signed up. The swag bag alone is worth the price of admission because it's like triple what you would get otherwise. All kinds of fun stuff. The holidays are upon us, y'all. They really are. savingdinner.com/cruise, and you can get in on it. I think that's it for all the announcements. So I was thinking about this whole thing about when things go wrong, don't go with them. It took me a minute, as you know, to get this Peloton. And it took a minute for, you know, last night when everything was blowing up and I was going, you know, what the heck is going on here? But you know what I learned? I learned this about myself, I've learned this about other people, and I've learned in the whole context of this whole thing, that when you do go with whatever goes wrong, and you go with that, and you fall down that rabbit hole, like I said, you don't feel good about yourself. Not only do you not feel good about yourself, but you start dredging up all the things that are wrong with you, you know, or supposedly wrong with you. You start putting into place, well, it's me, I'm the problem, it's this, it's that, and you start catastrophizing and wringing your hands and assuming the worst, and all these things become blown up and out of control. And when I look at that, and I think about the Elvis quote, when things go wrong, don't go with them. What a simple statement is that? It's a simple statement. It's just like, you know what? This is part of the human equation. Things will go wrong. Your tech will go wonky. You will have an opportunity, if you will, to find yourself in the place of saying, why is this happening? Why are things going wrong? Why isn't this just according to plan? We always want things to go just according to plan, don't we? But when they go wrong, we need to look at things not as a personal affront, not as it's because of you and everything is wrong. It's because you're this or that, or you're collecting, one of my favorites, you've got a lot of bad luck, you know? Well, it's this always happens to me. I've heard that over and over again. I actually have a friend who has a nickname for herself, and I'm not going to say what it is, which is an indicator that things are always going to mess up when she's around. And I believe that brings that stuff in. I really do. Because what we think about, man, we do bring about. And what we think about ourselves ultimately shows up in our lives. The reticular activating system is always at play, looking and gathering evidence to support the things that you think about yourself. You know, do we rise above it all, or do we go with it? And that is a big question, and I think it's an important question because it is in the place of rising above it that we can get beyond it. When we go with it, you know, we're falling down that same old rabbit hole that we've fallen down over and over again, you know? And it makes me sad. It makes me feel bad about myself. It makes me feel bad about my surroundings. It makes me question everything, don't you? We all do that. But at the end of the day, what we have to do is we have to step back. And I have some things for you. I've got 4 things that I looked at that in Psychology Today was really super helpful with this, because You know, there is a psychology on the way that we see the world. There is a psychology in the way that we see everything that's in our lives. There is. And it presents itself. So, what can we do? Well, the first thing that we can do is not jump to conclusions. How often have we done that? We have this knee-jerk reaction of just like, oh my gosh, it's this. There we go, Jenny, see what she is saying, that I'm the queen of klutz. Oh my goodness, see? And I bet you're not klutzy anymore either. I'm so proud of you, Jenny. I mean, that's a big deal. We have to stop. We sometimes use ourselves as our poking play, you know, our punching bag. We use ourselves as the butt of the joke. Like, oh yeah, and I've told you before, I used to say, hey, I walk by a bakery and I smell it and I'll gain weight. And guess what? It happened. Why do we do that? For a laugh, to say, oh, this is that and this is who we are? When we identify with something that takes us down and we say this is who we are, it is a pronouncement against who we are. And it doesn't do anything to build us up. It pulls everything down. We start to doubt ourselves. We start to create actually the things that we don't want. So when we jump to conclusions, you know, what we're doing is we're saying that information is not important, the information of the core values of who we are. We're just about this, and this is all indicative of who we are. We're failures. We're terrible. We have like these nefarious ideas to take someone down or whatever it is. Is that really the truth though? Or is that just your catastrophizing and your hand-wringing? You know, that's my mother's thing. That's what my mother used to do. God bless her. I loved her to bits. You guys know that. I miss her terribly. She's been gone for over 4 years now, and I miss her every single day. But I don't miss that. I don't miss the catastrophizing. I don't miss the worrying. I don't miss everything having to be just so, or boom, off she goes. And when we are doing that, we aren't allowing for others. We aren't allowing for our situation and our circumstances. We aren't allowing for something to grow and become. We aren't allowing for anything except disaster. It's a knee-jerk thing, and it's jumping to conclusions, and it's a mark on us that we haven't grown from that place. And remember, we talked the other day, what was it, on Monday, or I think, yes, maybe yesterday, on emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence indicates that in order to be emotionally intelligent people, we need to go past this jumping to conclusions things, because that's something that we need to leave behind, like our childhoods. It doesn't work. It doesn't help us. It doesn't bolster up anyone around us, and it tears us down personally. So that doesn't work. Keep the panic to a minimum, right? Keep it to a minimum and just allow for a minute. Just say, you know what? Let's just see where this all goes. Let's just give it a minute. Let's just rest on this. Let's see. Let's expect the best of that other person. Let's expect that the circumstances are going to work itself out. Let's just roll with it. That's what I was doing last night. Let's just roll with it. Let's go to Facebook Live. We'll just do it on the Facebook Live port. You know, what are you going to do? I got to get myself worked up into a lather. So I decided no. Instead, I'm going to walk forward. And I'm going to do the best that I can with what I've got in the situation that I'm in. That's all you can do. And doesn't it make you feel better? Doesn't it? Kimberly says, oh, how I want to go past this negative cycle. Aw, sweetheart. I'm holding your hand, Kimberly. We can get past this negative cycle. We can grow past our negative cycle, because that's exactly what it is. We don't stay there. We make a decision and a choice to turn our backs on it and to move on. And I think the next one is going to help you, because, you know, when something happens, we have to look at it. What is this? What's going on here? Is it a bump in the road, or is it a dead end? Is this, you know, is this the catastrophe that we think it is? Or is it simply a bump in the road? Well, I think it depends on how you look at it and how you determine what is really true. Because we're going to hit bumps in the road. Have you noticed? Life isn't easy. Life isn't simple all the time. Sometimes it is, and sometimes It offers you an opportunity to grow. That's another word for saying it's going to offer you a struggle. It's going to offer you an obstacle. It's going to offer you something that you're just really not going to like and you'd rather ignore, but you have to face it. And when we face things and we turn the light on, it's not nearly as dark as we think. The way we handle things is we're either going to be a drama llama about it, or we can be cool cat Kate. You know, we can be that woman, calm. And we can take the situation and look at it with a 30-foot view. You know, I think that there's always a lesson to put into the experience file. And if you've never heard me talk about the experience file, I'll tell you what that is. In my mind, when I go through a struggle or if something, especially if it starts to repeat and come back, when I'm dealing with something, especially if it's out of control, I have to take that 30-foot view, unplug from the emotion of it, because it is emotional. It hurts your feelings, makes you feel bad. There's a lot of stuff that goes with it. But let's pull back from it, 30-foot view. What's really going on here? Let's analyze what this is and pull the lesson. I believe when we pull the lesson from this is when we learn from the experience and we don't have to repeat it again. Then we can put it into the experience file and cherish the lesson on how it caused us to grow and to become all that we can be. That one little thing won't maybe cause us to grow and become all that we can be, but it puts us on the right path. It does. It puts us on the right path because now we're looking at opportunities to grow and to become better than we were before. Not that there's this contest of becoming better than we were before, or it's a perfectionism quest at all. It's about being the best possible person that you can be on this planet. You're here for a reason, for a purpose. I've said this so many times to you. I've said this so many times to you because I want you to understand that we are all here, yes, Norma, pinkies up, on purpose, put here by God Himself, because there is something for us to do. And further, I believe it has to do with helping others. It always does. Because when we lift each other up, that rising tide lifts all the boats. No one gets left behind. But we have to have that perspective and that view and be able to take the emotion out so that we can truly analyze the situation and then fix what we can, discard what we can't, and pull the lesson out. Because when we can do that, that builds up our own personal character, doesn't it? Have you noticed that? And isn't it so wonderful and so enriching to be able to say, aha, there's the lesson. Because when the lesson appears and we embrace it, then we're not going to have to keep repeating the same old thing over and over again. Because that is the definition of insanity, and it's Groundhog Day. Over and over and over again. Do you really want to do that? My guess is no. I know that's how I feel about it. My guess is no. And the last thing is that our tendency is, in our hand-wringing and over-catastrophizing, is we want to vent. We want to talk about it. We want to go through every single detail and just show how wronged we were or how awful this situation was or how victimized we were or whatever. And I always wonder, how good is that for us? Well, doing the research, you know what I found out? That when we complain like that, we're actually shrinking our hippocampus. So we shrink our brain when we complain like that. Because venting isn't what it is, that we don't need to vent. We're not, we're not pies that need to vent. We aren't, all of these appliances that need vents, are we? We're not a pressure cooker that needs to be vented. What we do need to do is we need to be able to pull back a little bit again and go ahead and feel the feelings and understand what feelings are. It's a momentary emotion going through your body. And you can decide what to do with it. You could say, well, you know what, that's a valid thing. Or you can say, you know what, okay, I felt it, I'm good, let's move on. And the reason we have the ability to do that is because we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We do not give ourselves enough credit that a divine God made us and therefore has given us everything that we need in order to sort things out. We're never just left to our own devices. We can pray, we can journal, we can talk to a friend in brief terms about this stuff and look for the lesson in what's being taught here, because there's always a lesson. Always. Hand to God. I learned so much from last night. I let it go. I was starting to get into that whole thing. I was starting to get into that whole, oh, this is the bad and this is the worst. And Mark, what did you do? And it was all this stuff. And really, how low vibe is that, right? How low vibe is that? We don't want to live there. We want to live in a different place. We want to live in the place where we are feeling good about our lives, we're feeling good about the people in our community, and we're feeling good every single day. Mission-oriented, purpose-driven, full of love and compassion for everyone. You know, we get to do that. We get to do that if we choose it. Because every choice that we make is a decision for our lives. Every single one of them. We can decide, are we going to have an unhealthy response to this, or are we going to have a healthy response to it? Last night, I was this close to just going off the edge and, you know, getting on Slack and telling poor Jenny, let's just shut the whole thing down and try again, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I was like very close to tears. I took all of that on me like it was my fault. And instead, when I started to feel myself going there, I've decided to back away. What can we do? What can I do instead? You know, this is ridiculous. Am I going to go get in a fight with Mark about this? Am I going to, you know, what? So here's what I did. I said, let's hop on Facebook. And I told Mark, I need you, when we have an event, to check our account to make sure we're not being throttled. It's all the things. And yeah, Anita, absolutely it's hard to do right in the moment, but our awareness can take us to that place. If we choose to go there, our awareness can do that. Because when we're aware, fully present, living in our lives and not instead living in default and catastrophizing and hand-wringing, then there's a calmness that comes. It's the peace that passes all understanding. Ever hear that one before? I believe that's when the Holy Spirit intervenes and takes you by the hand and says it's going to be okay. Now, that didn't exactly happen to me, but that calm did. That calm did, and I believe that was from God himself. Because I don't need to go there. I don't need to assume the worst about Mark, about the tech, about all the rest. I just need a solution, and I need it quickly. And I thought quickly, and that's what we did. Was it the best? Was it the absolute best, the way I wanted it to go? No, not at all. But I hold it in my hand with a very loose hand. And you know what? It did what it did. And guess what? It's here if you want to watch it. Just that simple. And I'm going to give my offer from last night and say it to you again today. You can have that same offer, and we will ship it out priority, and we will give you a deal. It's the best I can do. It is the very, very best that I can do. I am not going to go with the things that go wrong. Instead, I'm going to stand in my place of power, because I recognize as a powerful woman, as a woman who has a voice in her own life, that I don't need to go down that rabbit hole, that I can stand firm and say, let's fix this. Let's do what we can with what we've got. That's all anyone can do. And I invite you into this place of doing this, because you know what? I can't wait. We are also doing Full Bloom again, by the way. This has been on the books for months, and we were going to do it again in person. If you already have tickets, you can come again. And I don't know if that link is ready. Jenny could tell you. But listen, it's our virtual conference, and it's called Full Bloom in Living Color. And I did Full Bloom last time. That was just, I really enjoyed doing this, because it's just that level of living our lives. So vibrant. So you can almost feel it. And when we bring the community together, it's really incredible. So if you already have a ticket to Full Bloom, you're going to be able to come to this thing free. If you don't have one, go get one. And I don't know, Jenny will put up the link. I think it's savingdinner.com/bloom. Might be there. But there's new copy there. There's new everything there to tell you about what it's going to be about. And it should be great. This is the kind of stuff that we're going to get into, though, uncovering all of this stuff so we can get to our authentic selves. We get to our authenticity and the better part of who we are when we make that decision and that choice in our lives. It's that simple. So, okay, that Jenny has it. Don't go to that link that I just told you. Sorry. You are a masterpiece, and you are the one that's creating that masterpiece right now, today, by every choice that you make and every decision that you make. And I want them to be ones that are pro-you, that are ones that lift you up, not take you down, that give you purpose and meaning and a mission. Because remember, you are made in the image of God, fearlessly, wonderfully made. Don't you ever, ever forget that. That's who you are. All right, lovelies. I appreciate you showing up today. Thank you so much. Don't forget, this is the last day for Crave Crusher. Buy 3, there it is. We'll put the 4th one in your cart for free. And put ships free in the promo window, and we're done. We'll take care of all of it. You'll get free shipping and a free bottle of supplements. That's amazing. Take advantage of that. savingdinner.com/store, I guess. I don't know. But you gotta want to check it out. You can go to savingdinner.com. You can see the store right there on the navigation bar, right up on the right-hand column. If you put that in your cart, 3 in your cart, the 4th one will be put in by us. Ships free as long as you live in the United States, and the shipping is on us as well. That's how we do. That's how we roll. We love you guys. You're everything, and you're the best. Thanks so much for hanging out today. Peace be with you. Bye.